Hello and welcome to Gracemas episode 2. Yesterday was episode 1, and if you don't know what Gracemas is, it's basically Vlogmas, but here we call it Gracemas. So today we're coming live from I'm not at the waterfront today. Today I'm at Two Rivers. I have a business meeting here at Two Rivers, and the person that I'm meeting has already called and told me he's going to be 1 hour late. So I'm like, yeah. 1 hour, let's make a video within this 1 hour. Also, he's the inspiration. He is the one who inspired this video today. So I want to talk about time management and timekeeping. I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like in Kenya, especially when it comes to people in their 20s and 30s, people just don't value time at all. I don't know why, but people don't value time. And the older you get, the more you realize that time is actually a resource, and it's a non-renewable resource. So the moment you've wasted that time is gone. Like, you're not going to get it back. So people don't value, like, time is equal to money. And the older you get, the more you start realizing, actually, my time is worth money. So by this video, I am not in any way saying that I never get late, that I always keep time. That I would be lying. Sometimes I do get late, yes, but it's usually when things are totally out of my control. Also, this thing of being fashionably late, by the way, it's not a thing these days, just FYI. Being fashionably late was something in the 80s and in the 90s. In the 2000s, women are not supposed to be fashionably late. I find it a lot more with women than it is with men. Like, just intentionally being late because you're like, I'm being fashionably late. No, it is actually wrong. It is not a good thing. For me, I keep time even on a date. Like, it's a date. It's not something that I have to keep time with, but I still keep time. So how do you know if you're on time and when you're late? So if you have a meeting, say an official meeting, unofficial meeting, doesn't matter. If you're supposed to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you arrive at 7:55, you're on time. You're not early. Someone who's early is someone who got there at 7:45. That is someone who's early. Being there at 8 o'clock, you're late. You're supposed to be there at 8 and you're arriving at 8 o'clock, you're already late. Someone who's right on time is someone who's 5 to 10 minutes early. So you get there at 7:55, you get there 7:50, you're early. You're on time. You get there at anything between 20 to 30 minutes before time, then you're early. But if you get there at 8, my friend, you're not early. You're late. One thing that really pisses me off with YouTubers, not just Kenyan YouTubers, but also international ones, are when they're making their videos and they're like, oh my God, I'm so late. Oh my God, I'm so late. Or, oh my God, I'm late again. Like, people are already used to me because I'm always late. Oh my God, I'm always late. Every time I see that, I cringe and I tune out because I'm just like, you know what, I'm definitely not your target audience. Being late is not something to brag about. Being late is not something that people should know you for. That is actually a vice. It is not a virtue. So every time I see someone making a video and they're like, oh my God, I'm so late, I'm always like, then why are you making this video? Why are you making the video? Get into your car, get into your Uber, get into your matatu, go to wherever you're supposed to be going. Don't be here like, oh my God, I'm so late. Oh my God, I'm always late. That is not sexy. It is not cute. Again, we're in 2020. Being late is not a thing. So how do you keep time? Here are a few tips of how I manage to keep my time. So tip number 1 is set several alarms. So not just one alarm, several alarms. So for example, let's say, for example, you live in Ngong and you have a meeting in town at 9 a.m. You already know that is rush hour. That's rush hour time, right? So usually, whether you're driving, whether you're taking a matatu, I usually just account for 2 hours, especially if you're using public transport. It means it's going to be much more slower than taking Uber or driving your own car. So you always, even when I drive though, I always give myself 2 hours just to accommodate for traffic. So if I'm supposed to be in town by 9 o'clock, then I know I have to give myself 2 hours for traffic, which means that I set my time back to 7 o'clock. It means by 7 o'clock, I need to have left the house. Immediately at 7, I need to be leaving the house. If I'm leaving the house at 7, I always know that I take 1.5 hours to get ready. From the moment I get up in the morning, my morning is usually very slow. I like a very slow morning. So I know I don't even do makeup. I don't have breakfast, but I still know I need 1.5 hours. So what needs to happen is I need to set my time back again up to 5:30, because then if I wake up at 5:30, it means 6:30, 7, that will already be 1.5 hours, and that will be enough for me. So what do? I will set 3 alarms. One alarm will be at 5:30 in the morning. I never snooze, because when you snooze, that's when you lose. When you snooze, you lose. So I'll set my first alarm at 5:30. At 5:30, I set my alarm, and I know that I really need to wake up. That's 5:30. At the next alarm should be ringing at 7, because at 7 it means that I need to be leaving. But instead of setting it at 7, I want a warning alarm. I call it a warning alarm. So 15 minutes before 7 o'clock, that's at 6:45, I set my second alarm. So the second alarm is just to tell me, hey Abby, whatever you're doing, you need to wrap it up, because in 15 minutes you need to be out of that door. So I set my first alarm at 5:30 to wake up, my second at 6:45, which is a warning for me to leave the house, and then the final one at 7 o'clock. So those are 3 alarms that will tell you what time you need to be where. The second tip is, especially if you know you'll be leaving early in the morning, pack everything overnight. Everything. So say you're going for a business meeting, all your documents, your cards, your everything, pack everything, and if possible, leave them in the car. That's what I normally do when it comes to, because in the morning I go for yoga or I go to the gym. I pack everything, all my clothes and the change of clothes and everything, and keep them in the car, so that in the morning, the only things that I'm taking are just, say, my phones or the keys, just the small things, but everything else is already packed and it's inside the car, and that will save you so much time. You have no idea. Another tip that I'm sure you've heard before is lay out all your clothes, like physically take them out. Don't just think about what you're going to be wearing. Actually take them out, put them on the side, whether it's the side of the bed or a chair, or on that side of the on the wardrobe. It's the first item that you see. Everything from the bra that you're going to wear, to the shoes, to the underwear. Take everything that you're supposed to be wearing the next day and put it to the side. It saves you so much time. You have no idea. And also, riding on that, the day before, if you can, check the weather. See how the weather is going to be the next day. So that will inform what you're going to be wearing, because you don't want to be wearing your spaghetti top and your shorts and then it's raining the whole day. So check the weather first. That will determine what outfit you're going to be wearing. Keep it on the side, like literally take it out, everything from head to toe, keep it on the side, so that in the morning, after you've showered, it's literally just putting it on. So you don't have to wake up and be like, oh, but I've already taken out my jacket, but there's sun outside, it's going to be a sunny day. So that means that I have to go back to my wardrobe and I have to start looking for other clothes. So make sure that you've checked the weather, you know what weather is going to be there. Then you've already taken out your clothes. That will save you a lot of time and you will not be late. Another very important thing, if you're driving or if you're taking Uber, always use Google Maps. For me, even when I know where I'm going, I always check Google Maps, because Google is always updated and it will tell you which routes have traffic and which route to use and which one not to use. Maybe there's a road closure or there's something happening. So always use your Google Maps. Another thing is, people in Nairobi will always be late. I don't know why. It's just something that I've just come to accept. People will always be late. So try, if you're having several meetings in a day, try to leave an hour gap for each meeting, just to accommodate for the previous person who's going to be late. So just try to accommodate for an hour. So for example, if I'm supposed to meet someone from 9 to 10, if I'm supposed to meet you from 9 to 10, then the next meeting should not start at 11. Maybe just accommodate for the next meeting at 12, so that you have this 1 hour gap just to accommodate for this other person being late, because the meeting will probably start a bit later on. And also to just give yourself a breather, to just breathe before the next meeting actually starts. And then another point riding on that one is also try and have your meetings within the same venue. So for example, with me, I always have meetings at the waterfront. I think I already mentioned that before. So I usually do my business meetings at SAB at the waterfront. So I have the one meeting there, then the next person will come, and the next person. First of all, it saves your time. It also saves your money, because you're not moving around too much. Today I was having yoga at Hot Yoga Nairobi here at Two Rivers. That's why for my meeting I requested my friend to actually meet me here, so that I don't have to be rushing, driving somewhere else, and increasing my chances of being late, basically. If the person you're meeting cannot meet you at the place that you've requested, then also always have accommodate for traffic. So basically, don't put in too many meetings on the same day. So for example, for me, I already know I only have my meetings. I only take about 3 meetings a day maximum, especially if I know they're going to be at 3 different venues because of one, you have to accommodate for traffic. 2, you also need some breathing space before you actually go for your next meeting. So always try and have your and don't take too many meetings in a day. For me, I already know I can only take 3 in a day. So don't take too many meetings in a day, whether it's just a casual meeting or whether it's a business meeting or whatever. Don't take more than 3, because with Nairobi traffic, it's impossible unless you're meeting everyone at that same venue. Also, again, if the person you're meeting cannot meet you, you're not able to meet everyone at the same place, then always accommodate at least 2 hours between each meeting, because like I said, the previous meeting could be running late. So by the time you finish with this one meeting, maybe it's 30 minutes late, and then you have to drive or take Uber to the next meeting, and that guarantees you're going to be late. So always have like a 2-hour gap between meetings if you have to be moving around. Okay, so as we all know, shit happens. So let's assume that you're already late. What can you do? What can you do to remedy the problem that's already facing you? One, and this is the most important thing that I find many people don't do, do not lie. Do not lie of where you are. That is very, very key. Don't lie. If you know that you're late, just call in advance and be like, hey, I am late and I'm actually still at home. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to meet you in 30 minutes and I live in Ruaka and I'm supposed to meet you at Junction and I'm taking a matatu. Be honest. Do not lie of where you are. Don't be like, oh, niko tu hapa kwa traffic nakuja. Niko tu hapa kwa matatu. Ndio napanda matatu. No, you're still in bed. So instead of wasting this other person's time, this person could be doing something else, or they could decide to go shopping and come back and wait for you, or they could just don't lie, because then you're wasting not just their time and getting them angry, but it's also giving you so much pressure because now you have to do everything 10 times faster and you will still be late. Number 2, if you know you're going to be late, always call ahead. So, for example, you're living in Ruaka, right? You're supposed to meet someone in Junction. You're supposed to meet at 8 in the morning. You're already getting up, maybe your alarm didn't go off or whatever happened, and you woke up at 7:30. Automatically, you already know that you're going to be late. So what you need to do at that point, even before you start showering and brushing your teeth, is to call or send a message and say, hey, I'm going to be about an hour late, or I'm going to be about 2 hours late because I am leaving. I've just woken up. Just be honest and say, I have just woken up. Because one, you'll be saving this other person, because maybe this other person is just moving heaven and earth to make sure that he's there at 8. But now this other person can actually relax and know, you know what, my appointment is running late, so maybe I should not leave the house, or I should do other things, or maybe have another meeting as I wait for this person, because they're already calculating. They're knowing you're getting up right now at 7 o'clock, or at 7:30. You're taking a matatu, so by the time you get to town, then you get to Kencom to get another bus to Junction, and it's rush hour. That will take you an easy 2 hours. So instead of meeting you at 8, they already know you can only meet at 10, because that's the only logical time when you can actually meet. So please just give them a call. Just be courteous and say, hey, I have to be honest with you, I am running late. I have just woken up right now. I will not make it on time. And that will actually save both of you a lot of misery. Number 3, if you're late, pay for the inconvenience. What do I mean by pay for the inconvenience? So for example, with my friend right now, we're supposed to meet at 1 o'clock. And now I know he's going to be here at 2 o'clock. Something as simple as just paying for parking. You know, just be like, hey, I know you've waited for me for more than an hour. I was late. I will pay for your parking, or I will pay for your coffee, or I will pay for your lunch. And especially if you're meeting someone, so say you're meeting someone in town, and you know this person is literally just standing there at Galitos waiting for you, and you've made her wait there for like an hour. The courteous thing to do is to call them and be like, oh, hey, are you at Galitos? Please go in, have something to eat, I'm coming, and cover for it. Pay for it, instead of getting this girl to just stand there in the middle of the street and be waiting for you. So pay for any inconvenience that you have caused. Another thing is, so for example, if you have another meeting, say for example, so if I had another meeting and I didn't have a car and I'm running late for my next meeting, then the courteous thing for the friend to do is to say, hey, here's some Uber money. Instead of taking a matatu, because a matatu is going to make you late, I will drive you, or I will pay for your Uber, because I am paying for this inconvenience that I've caused. And that is how you actually atone for what you've done in terms of making people late. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video to the end. Remember, if you're watching this on IGTV, on Instagram, please remember to follow the Grace Cup. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to subscribe, share, and like it. And also, please let me know what other tips do what other tips do you use to not get late, or what remedies do you do when you are late? I would love to really hear from you. And remember, my final take on this is being fashionably late is not a thing. Please.